Hi, students. Hope you would be fine and having a good time. Today, we would be talking about the importance of context, the situation of the context in genre analysis. Uh, this would be very much significant from the exam point of view as well, as I have shared with you the book that, and you are supposed to read as well. Uh, the book I completely shared with you was named that Bhattias, means critical genre analysis. As we have been talking in our previous talk, that in our previous talk we have uh, discussed something about the genre, definition of genre, and then the discourse community. We have talked about uh, discourse community, register. The concept of register means what is the difference between register and the genre analysis. uh, but today we would be talking about the importance of context in the genre analysis. This is very much significant from the exam perspective as well, means you have to prepare this as a question of your midterm exam. The context, it means the importance of context in the genre analysis. So context plays a very critical role, as you know, that we were talking in one of our talk, that grammar is basically the skeleton of that language. Skeleton means are the bones. Bones means which provide the meaning to the language. If there had been no grammar, there might have been no language, no meaning, no communication. Similarly, uh, this is Bhattia's concept, Vijay Bhattia's concept. Before his this talk, he has been taking the genre analysis just simply as categorizing the word and language into different categories. For example, when we do the linguistics analysis, we basically categorize the vocabulary into its linguistics form. From linguistics forms, I mean that we separate the things as noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunctions, interjections, and then we do what we do at morphemes, grammatical units we study with that. And when we do the stylistics analysis, we sort out the literary devices which have been employed in that particular text. uh, for example, if there is a poem, then we might be tracing out simile, metaphor, personification, and all these things. This would be basically the stylistics analysis. So keep in mind the difference between stylistics analysis and the linguistics analysis. Now, coming to the genre analysis. Genre is basically mm, both linguistic analysis, stylistics and analysis, and the contextual analysis as well. Means what is being said to whom, and what is being said to uh, uh, what is being said, uh, to whom whom is it is being said. For example, uh, there is a word uh, like पंजाबी में एथे ला दे, एथे ला दे मीन यहाँ पे उतार दे। अब ये वाला वर्ड जो एथे ला दे, ये आप रिक्शे वाले को कह सकते हैं, वैन वाले को कह सकते हैं, लेकिन आप जहाज वाले को नहीं कह सकते कि एथे ला दे। मेरे ख्याल में अब आपको समझ आ गई होगी कि लिंग्विस्टिक्स जो होती है, एवरी वर्ड आर द क्लू कैन नॉट बी अप्लाइड टू any context. So context is very much important. Uh, Means there is the specific context of aeroplane, there is specific context of rickshaw, van, and there is the specific context of judiciary as well. Means the court, uh, judge is more powerful when he is in his court, when he is in front of his context, and he is having a context behind himself. uh, then it would be uh, making power. Means as we if you have heard that what is the difference between discourse analysis and critical discourse analysis. Discourse is basically about the description of the language, while uh, critical discourse talks about the power in which is embedded in that language, which is embedded in that context. uh, it is basically context, as Mudassir Kazmi is saying that how we can use the context in the genre analysis apply. It is basically context which we apply in the analysis of a genre. uh, in the analysis of genre, we are not concerned with that of the linguistics and the stylistics analysis, though we are concerned with the these two analyses as well, but we incorporate the context to whom it has been said. As I have mentioned, you means ethelade. You cannot say to the pilot ethelade. So because that context is not used in that situation. So it is basically the context which gives power. It is the context which gives more power or situational meaning to that discourse. Discourse is something else. As you know, it's more like a skeleton. It's more like a, uh, you may call it uh, as life and soul. We talk about the body and the soul. So if the language is the body, then context is the soul. And if uh, context is the body, then language is the soul. So these both context and uh, text and the context cannot be separated from one another. So now again, there is a debate that what is basically the uh, uh, genre analysis and what is critical genre analysis. And our next question would be about crossing the genre and the discursive genre as well. Discursive and interdisciplinary genres as well, and interdisciplinary context as well. We would be talking to these questions one by one. Basically, genre is the analysis of a language, stylistics, linguistic, functional, contextual analysis of a language in a particular context. Once we have done with that, we take into account the uh, concept of power. Power means power is associated with the context. For example, as I have mentioned you that the judge is only powerful when he is sitting in his own context. Means context means on the in his courtroom, then he is powerful. It is the context which is giving him the power. A policeman is only powerful when he's at the police station or he's on his duty and he is in the uniform. If the policeman is not in the uniform, And if we know that he is the policeman, but he does not have that power, so context gives the power. So now, coming to our question, that when we study the genre analysis with its relationship to the power, with its embedded power, then it becomes as critical genre analysis. One simply is the genre analysis, and the other is critical genre analysis, means CGA, critical genre analysis. So a simple definition of critical genre analysis is that when we are studying or when we are doing any genre analysis with reference to the power, then it becomes the critical genre analysis. And our other uh, concern is to talk about discursive practices and crossing the genre. As you know, that the word is more interdisciplinary. Now every genre is mixed with one another. I would you uh, uh, I would be answering your question by the end. Please keep down all these. I would be answering your questions by the end of my this talk. Uh, keep writing your questions. I would be answering all one by one by the end. So, for example, if you have to design an advertisement, for designing an advertisement, uh, there is the need of language as well, there is the need of art as well, there is the need of philosophy as well, there is the need of for writing that, making that good advertisement. You are supposed to be uh, using that of economics as well, sociology as well, psychology as well. For example, yesterday, as the petrol price is reduced, Dunia News just make the headlines, and there was a like the nozzle of petrol, and the petrol one drop by drop it was falling from that. When that headline ran out of that nozzle, one drop of petrol or the diesel was falling like this, one by one, one by one. You might have been uh, uh, seen that as well. So means that semiotics is giving the meaning, that context is the meaning, that petrol and all these are going to be fall down. So uh, what color scheme it is going to be used out in that advertisement? Is it possible for a linguist to design the color scheme? For example, सब कुछ सस्ता हो गया, सब कुछ सस्ता हो गया, this is the language which is more concerned with a linguist. लेकिन सस्ता हो गया, महंगा हो गया, this is something about the economics. जब कोई बंदा लिखता है कि सेल 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 लगा, so सेल सेल सेल, it is a word which is more concerned with the economics as well, but it is more concerned with the psychology of the customer as well. He loves to get the things from the sale, while normally everyone's means every customer, yeah, sorry, every shopkeeper sell the things the daily. Means, for example, if we say keep in mind, if there is the word on that sale, it means these items are on sale. But if it is written for two times, sale sale, it's more cherishing, it has a more good effect. But if it is written like this in a whole banner, like sale 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 sale, it means like sale 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 sale, it gives an effect that the everything over here is very cheap. So, in creating an advertisement, we need the linguists, we need the economist, we need the that artist, we need the philosophers, we need the every some sort of. These are basically what the context and the genres has been interlinked with one another. So now, as the modern word is very much interdisciplinary, a linguist is more concerned. For example, the person who studies media studies, he study the language as well. He talks about the psychology as well. He's supposed to be conscious of that as well. For example, even the person who is reporting for his TV, he's supposed to be very conscious of the community guidelines as well. He cannot break the community guidelines. He should be more sensitive about the psychology as well. So by all my this talk and examples, I am going to make it clear that there is the word has mixed into context. There is a wide social context, but now the contexts are emerging, are interconnected with one another. So this gives to the situation of multimodality. So what is multimodal? Now our next talk is multimodality. Before this, I talk about the intercrossing the genre. This is uh, exploiting one genre into another genre is basically the discursive practices as well. For example, and it becomes the funny as well. For example, uh, when a policeman uh, with his uniform performs the function of a joker, then everyone laughs because discursive never means abusive one. Discursive means he is not operating in his context. For example, in our when new classes are used, comes into the universities, some senior students used to go into the new classroom and they start teaching and they say that okay, we are your teacher, we are going to be teaching you like this. But when actual teachers appears in the class, then that bogus are the senior students run away from the class, and the whole class runs at that senior student. Basically, when you change your contacts, then it becomes discursive context. It becomes some sort of laughter as well. uh, but uh, this becomes multimodality as well. Now we comes to that, now we are living in the multimodal world. One context gives a one model, two contexts gives make it as bimodal, and when we are interlinked with many models, it becomes the multimodality and multimodal. Now we comes to the definition and multimodality. Multimodality means uh, uh, one is the linguistics analysis, one is the semiotic analysis, one is the uh, means other context based as well. There might not be any color, there might not be any uh, might be some images might not be using some color scheme, but images gives a meaning. For example, there is a person who is standing uh, by the river. So, and there is not written any text, but still we perceive the meaning that he might be standing. He might be on some recreational activity. He's not at home. He's away from the home. So we imply a lot of meanings according to that. So for example, uh, if I have to do the analysis of this text, uh, if I have to do the analysis of its linguistics analysis, then I would be, this is language, English book 311 to 216 to 17, and Punjab text curriculum board and text board Lahore. This book has been constructed by, this is its linguistic analysis. But if I am going to this would be one level of analysis. If I am going to use its multimodal analysis, then I would be taking into account this linguistics as well, these images as well, these images. So this is the image of a book, this is the image of a pen over here. This is basically and then addition to that, this language and these images, I would be talking about the color scheme of this as well. The color over here, you may see over here, this one is the very darkish one. Here is another color, this one 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 is another, this one is another, this one is another, and here this is very different one. So means these different colors are reflecting that uh, this book talks about the different literary analysis as well, different literary poems as well, literatures different from different writers as well. So it would be talking about multimodal analysis. So why it is like this one is like this uprise and then balancing, all this I would be, and why this word has been written in the green. These are the words amanat, diyanat, stakat, shirafat, but why they are written in the green line, and what is written, why this is one in the red one. The red one is used for alarm, red one is used here, it may be used as for the copyright, as this is the red color, and this book is owned by Punjab curriculum textbook board Lahore. So this color might be used as a warning as well, for highlighting as well, but for warning as well, means that this book is copyright to Punjab textbook board. So they are basically uh, in this way we use the multimodal analysis. So uh, context is very much important. I think you have understood all this, that if there had not been any context, so there might have not been the genre analysis. And as you know, in that investigation of the police, the police officer basically first of all takes into account the context. He reaches on the crime scene, he takes the clues from the context, he relates the things into the context, he does the analysis of that, and he takes, for example, a police investigation officer takes into account that concept of for example, if a police officer finds a dead body of a woman, so he might be asking what her husband does. But if say, if someone eyewitness over this uh, context over the scene reports that her husband does nothing, and he's a thief, and he used to steal the things, and he never let the money at his house, then definitely the first which, out of this contextual clue, the very first point which the police officer would be making mind, that there is the possibility that this lady might have committed suicide, or that man had killed this one. Means there is the very much first involved reason is that of the economy, that there might not be something else. So it is the context. And recently studies which are going to be at the genre analysis, they have placed very much, mean a very prime value to the context. With this, I think everything is clear. But if you have any question, you may ask me. Only 9 people, 8 people have joined my this session. You are supposed to mark your attendance, saying yes over here. So Mudassir Kazmi is here, Uzma Bibi is here, this Afzal is here, and then Kadir is here, Maria is here, and Maria Ibrahim is here, Mohsen Hassan, Amir Abbas. Anyone else whose name has remained? Please write down your attendance by saying not again, yes, sir. So if you have any question, you may ask. So mark the attendance of these 9 people. Uh, the remaining would be definitely punished as well. So if you have any question, you may write over here. I think there is no question, and I tried my best to make everything clear to you with examples as well. Uh, with this goodbye, we would be taking our next session very soon. With this goodbye.